What a finale for RWBY Volume 2. Honestly, this episode was freaking great, and it left us on a massive cliffhanger. I wonder how many Chibits actually know who that person was at the end of this episode. Because, I mean, that person, we haven't seen him for a very, very, very long time. The last time we saw that character, Adam, was in the Black trailer of RWBY. When the trailers were still coming out. Blake was traveling with Adam. And so, with this, Adam is coming back into the story. Along with a shocking other cliffhanger of this episode. We actually have two cliffhangers. You have the ending part with Adam coming back into the story along with working with Cinder. And then you have the other ending conclusion right before the credits with the masked warrior that we saw last week's episode revealing herself, and you see the mask come off, and then I have a lot of theories about that, so I'll get into that in just a moment. But finding out that Adam is back into this is pretty intriguing, and I know for a fact there must be some form of connection after looking at it, a big connection between Adam and this mysterious girl that was, introduced last week's episode. So I wonder, because the mask is the exact same. I mean, they wear, type of symbol, like a Grim mask, like the White Fang. So, I mean, they're definitely related in some form or fashion. But the big question is who is that person? Who is that girl that revealed herself at the end of this episode? Now, I made a lot of theories last week, and a bunch of Chibits also made a lot of theories. Personally, after seeing that conclusion at this episode with the girl revealing her face, she looks way too young to be Yang's mother. Like, way too fucking young. Way too young. Even too young to be even RWBY's mother. Just way too fucking young. The way she looks. It could be because of the way Rooster Teeth decided to do the CGI, and maybe that's why she looks young, if it is Yang or RWBY's mother. But I think there's something else going on here. I mean, it's obvious it's someone related to Yang, because, I mean, the hairstyle is just completely similar. I mean, look at the hairstyle. The hairstyle is the exact same except black. It is completely identical to Yang's. The eye color is the exact same to Yang. So, I mean, there's just so much similarities between those two characters. Either, here's my speculation. Either that is like Yang's long-lost fucking twin, which, I don't know, it could happen, but I mean, I don't know, I highly doubt that. I mean, it could be Yang's long-lost twin or something. It could possibly be Yang's mother, which is the most possible. I mean, it definitely is, because the similarities are there, or it could be RWBY's mother. One or the other. Now, overall, though, I mean, it could possibly be a character that could time travel, I guess, because we have experienced this with Red vs. Blue. If we think about it, Red vs. Blue has experienced time travel once before in their series, and so Rooster Teeth knows to use time travel sometimes, so maybe that person is Yang, like from a different timeline or something, or from the future. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing out random fucking theories, okay? Don't kill me. But, anyways, besides that entire bit, they got a lot of other things that were done with this episode. Besides Adam and the mysterious girl that was introduced, we have a lot of fighting going on in this episode. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed with the potential of this episode that Rooster Teeth actually let slip out of their grasp. As I said in last week's episode, it could have been possible to make this series very dark. I mean, they could have easily have had it to where these, Grimm came into the city and the entire city got swarmed and took over and everybody had to evacuate out of the town, and that would be the next focus of the next season. Having it to where the entire town's taken over and they have to take back the town. That would have been a very good opportunity for the overall writing style of the series to get a little bit more dark and a little bit more mature and to drag in more viewers, but it's okay. That's just my perspective. Rooster Teeth does what they want, and I was just saying that seemed like a lost chance on their part. But either way, besides that, the episode did have a good conclusion. It definitely sets up for what we should probably expect for the next arc. For instance, the next volume, Volume 3, we don't have a set release date, but I'm going to take a guess and say it's going to probably air near summer of next year. That's probably when we'll see Volume 3 come out for RWBY. But either way, they get a setup to where a tournament is coming. And pretty much you have the dude, the general, he is going to be watching over and being security of the entire town. He's going to be the security watcher. He's going to be using his robots that he created and was introduced in this season to watch over the town and be security. And then you have, Torchwick just trapped in a prison cell, and the way he was being all menacing, the way he laughed on his final scene, it makes me think that he wanted to be captured in the first place. So, he's definitely going to have a major role to play. He might even manipulate the general. It's a possibility. Now, besides that entire bit, okay, with this episode, I felt like the overall action of this episode looked really fucking nice. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever seen when it comes to RWBY and its action, but it was a very good episode. Like, I especially love Coco. Oh my god. Coco, oh shit, dude, did you see that shit? Coco going in, man. Like, okay, Coco comes out with her entire freaking team and pulls out her fucking briefcase, starts beating the fucking shit out of people, like her freaking purse or whatever, just beating the shit out of those Grimm, dude. She, like, fucking kicks them and all that. I'm like, oh, that is too badass. Just the levels of badassness I'm sensing from Coco is just too epic. And then that entire reveal of her weapon reveal to when she has a fucking minigun, dude. A fucking minigun. She fucking, oh. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just badass. It was just straight out badass seeing her use a minigun. And it kind of sucks that Velvet didn't get her weapon revealed. I mean, you had Coco say, like, don't use it now, and made her put her little box away, so we didn't get to see the weapon, which disappoints me. I'm willing to bet it's going to be something really crazy, but we'll have to see and probably wait for next season for it to get revealed. But the overall, fighting of this episode, there's one thing you can get from it. There's actually one major important thing. Actually, two things. For one thing, we see John actually have fighting ability. Like, through the course of this season and last season, like the first season, he was bullied, as we know, and he was using his time to try to train, and he was trying to get a lot better. But in this episode, we finally get some demonstration to what he has accomplished from the first season and from this season. He actually takes down a Grimm bear by himself, and he whoops it and takes it down. So, it shows you the progression as a character in terms of power. He's actually gotten a lot better. So, that makes me very happy to see how his character is progressing. He's not just becoming a wimp. He actually can stand and fight for his own. That's one of the biggest points you can get out of this episode, besides Coco's weapon reveal, and seeing the teachers fight and revealing their weapons and stuff like that. One thing I will say, the entire teachers coming in and, like, saving the day, like, when you saw the vice principal coming in and fucking just fixing everything and fixes the hole into the city, that reminded me of, like, Hogwarts. And straight out Harry Potter, man. That was straight out Harry fucking Potter. When you saw the freaking, like, pieces of the floor and all that and the road just going back together, I'm like, that's fucking Harry Potter, man. That is just straight out Harry Potter. And I was just laughing at the scene. I was fucking laughing the way how pissed he was putting everything back together. So, overall, the episode, very good. What would I rate RWBY Volume 2? For the most part, I would rate it about probably an 8 out of 10, somewhere around in there. It hasn't been the best thing ever, but I really have enjoyed this volume for the terms of character development. Rooster Teeth, one thing I will say though, hopefully they will improve their CGI quality. That's the only thing I say that really needs to be improved a lot when it comes to the series. I have noticed a lot of clipping when it comes in terms of the characters. I see it like at least once per episode, and I mean, it's not been too bad. But, I mean, hopefully, eventually, as they get more in sync with making RWBY and they start making it a lot more like, how they did with Red vs. Blue. I mean, they've done Red vs. Blue for so long, they've gotten freaking great at it. I mean, the freaking CGI looks badass. I just hope that, Rooster Teeth will start improving the CGI even more. I mean, this season was definitely a massive improvement from the first season, but I hope they improve the CGI even further in the third season. So, overall, besides that, great episode. Music was fucking amazing. Oh my god, I love that music in this episode with the fight. Brilliant. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How'd you feel about this week's episode of RWBY, the finale of RWBY Volume 2? Will you be picking it up from Rooster Teeth's store anytime soon? Let me know. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.